Hello there, my friends, and welcome to my channel. I sure hope you remember my voice because it's been a little while, but it is indeed me, Kate in the nest, back in the nest and brimming with stories to tell and things to show you. And yeah, I'm not sure how far we'll go with this one because I'm a little bit tired, but it's tiredness with the joy of just what's been happening. So before I start telling you all about me, let's check in with you. What's happening? Oh, I'm so relieved actually. I had been missing my my flower ring, and there she was. Okay, and that brings me to hoping that you are feeling incredibly you know, happy with your stitching or whatever you're doing, because hey, when you get with a group of fellow stitchers, it is the most exciting thing. So if not in the real world, let's be virtual. So if you're new here, welcome. If you've never watched me before, get ready. And if you've been with me for a while, thank you for staying with me and your support. Okay, what's the story going on here? I can't even remember what I made my last video about, but since I made it, I have done the most glorious workshop of my life in that I got to collaborate with the incredible Fleur Woods. And I talk about Fleur a lot, and she's better. She's better and bigger and more incredible in person. But for her and I to be in the same room with other ladies for 3 days and delve into our stitching was truly a privilege. So Fleur will be home now. We tried not to say goodbye, and then I was making a little speech. At the end, I tried to make a little speech at the end of the 3-day yesterday afternoon, and I just started to say something and I burst into sobs. So if you're new here, just please know that I sometimes get emotional because I'm so passionate about what we do and these opportunities and the joy of fabrics and textiles and people. And that brings me to this. People say they're interested in what I'm wearing. The star of the show today is my flower to flower ring that the incredible Ktisty, and Ktisty's on Sew Bits. She's on YouTube, and she's called Sew Bits Ktisty. She's from Perth. She's been in Europe, and then she came home for a little while and flew over to us here in New South Wales, and she bought me this gift of a ring in Paris. I can't remember what, it starts with C where she got it from. I don't know Paris well, but I have worn that all week, and she said, look, flower to flower. So there we go. That's my bit of Ktisty, and you'll see my rings. I did have my bird's nest one on earlier, and thank you to Ktisty as well for that gift that I think I showed last time. Okay, let's keep going. So I finished 3 days at Fleur with Fleur and Kate yesterday, and guess what? Today was open studio at Green Door. So there wasn't many of us, but how could I not go back? I said to Zoe, I will miss you so much. So I went to Green Door Open Studio. I've had some things come in the mail, and after Green Door, I went to Dirty Jane's in Bowral, which is our sort of vintage antique store, much like, I can't remember that other shop I went to last Friday. So I've done a fair bit of shopping, but I do feel I've been working in the most glorious way, and I have another day of work tomorrow. So you got to just, if the time is right, and we are going through a lot of textiles at our workshops, and mine If you saw any of the photos on Instagram, there were heaps and heaps and heaps of things. So I'm going to come. Will I show you treasures? People say they love a haul, so let's love a haul. Okay, I got home from the. Okay, before I go on to that, why is this flower on this tin? I got both of these from Dirty Jane's, but in particular, I got lots of Indian textiles from the shop in Dirty Jane's, and I did bring one of these back with me when I was in Jaipur earlier in the year. But the owner of the shop is Nicole, and Nicole runs a travel company called Red Door Tours, and she has a shop online called Narangi. I have the card here somewhere, but she came to Open Studio for the first time, so that's sort of like a theme. So I'm in Green Door, and then I went shopping at Dirty Jane's, and at Dirty Jane's I bought Indian things. as long as other things. So I just think that looks beautiful. That's my gift of flowers to you. It's making me happy. Can you hear? I was tired before I started this, but now I'm back with you, my friends. I am always happy, but even happier. Okay, so this, I've got lights here because I want not to have shadows. It's not dark yet. Oh, it is because I just, see, I'm hopeless. Has it gone dark now? What have I done? I've just done something with the light. Okay, if I bang myself in the head and go out, please do not worry. Okay, so let's get back to this. I did an order earlier in the week with the beautiful Judy from Lavender Lane Tea, I think it is. She's on Instagram, and she has the most amazing collection, and particularly Sanderson's. And now that I'm doing lots of flowers in vases, and in fact that was the focus, in a way, not for everyone, of our workshop this week, and I'll be doing that again with Fleur in Nelson in just a little while. But I'm gardening for groups of flowers, and Sanderson is proving to be absolutely beautiful. So Judy had some pieces going for sale, and I grabbed them because look at that as a beautiful little trail. Now, I said to people at the workshop, Fleur can make her own flowers. I use other people's flowers, and that's either through collage or more and more through colouring in. So I look for flowers that I can, even if I don't like the core flower colour, I know that we can stitch and change those. So that's a little feast for your eyes. It's not a huge piece, but art on your heart and flowers in vases and all sorts of things. I will use that on. So that's it in that colorway. Then I bought, she had quite a big length of this one. And I don't know whether the background is maybe bluish, but look at these. So I'm bringing you flowers like I love to. So look at these ones. I mean, have you tried this? Because I haven't, but I tell you, I'm just getting more and more inspired to actually start with a big piece of fabric and then embellish, fill in the spaces with other flowers. So this is a lovely length. So thrilled, Sanderson. I've been someone who hasn't looked at florals since I was, a teenager probably. So this is a new world, and now that I know that I can change the color, and how beautiful and soft this is to stitch. Adore that. And as a surprise, Judy popped in this little piece for me because she thought I would love it. So look at those. So there's a bit of a rose down there, all these leaves, and that flower, and these flowers. It's actually very fleur, isn't it? So anyway, that came to me in the mail. Came yesterday, but I only opened it this morning because I was tired. Okay, I'm going to run you through some things. I just love that there, so I'm going to talk around it. At Dirty Jane's, there's a French store. Well, there's a lot of things, but this afternoon they had these vintage reels of, they're wooden, and they were quite reasonably priced. These were $8 each, which I thought for wood vintage with a story, but also practical, because I've used up all of the wool that I dyed. I didn't show you that last collection, but I've been putting it in balls after it's dyed, and they're big skeins, but I'm going to put them onto here before I wind in the shank, is what I'm trying to say. So got some of those. Always have eyes open for fabrics, and my bowerbird eye went to this one. I was gifted, and I think I showed you, a beautiful piece of Chanel like fabric when I was at the 5-day workshop, and then in Dirty Jane's this afternoon they had this. So hello Sheridan, you've influenced me with your beautiful gift, and now my eyes are being attracted. So you'll see me make with this often, and there's quite a bit of it, so it's good sharing workshop stitching bundle material. It's got a bit of a glitter in it, and yeah, soft, and so it will be beautiful to stitch with. So that's that. It's a mixed bag. Also found this. I haven't bought, it feels like I haven't bought doilies or things for ages, and this was sitting there just totally by itself in a random shop, and the work is so fine. And this piece I'll harvest, because it just appealed to me that I can just cut the little stringy bits and make lots of different little flower bouquets. There's a big pink flower there. This would be also beautiful to paint the background in between. So I had to grab that. Not cheap, but we can't find them as much. Look at that. Just, I hope you get some joy, because just touching it, I'm going, oh, I love that I bought that. Okay, back to the same fabric store. And these are big pieces, so it's hard. I was literally walking by. Oh, gosh, I love this. So, you know, I wasn't planning to go to Dirty Jane's, but Nicole has a store there, and I have used up some of my braids, and I was up looking for some things in particular, which I will show you in a moment. But look, how Kate in the Nest is that? And I can't remember because they take the tags off, but this is what it is. Designed by Richard Smith for number 9 Thompson. It's printed in Thailand. This is a colorway. Look at that for a gorgeous little pit, but it's full of these beautiful patterns. So there's another one. I felt very, I think it was called Bombay, which was Bombay, is Chennai? Now, anyway, I need to do some more research. I need to stop and be home in my nest, which is what I've got planned for next week. So there we go. Beautiful. Beautiful emblem. Oh, there. And look at this one. All different colorways. And look at that as a medallion. So definitely you'll see this on my work and for stitching. Lots and lots of it. So eyes always open. I'm not seeing these things don't come up in thrift stores very much. So just grab when you can. Love that. Okay, where to next? Okay, let's look in here. I can't remember what else is in here. So this I bought for the green, and I've been watching Beck and other people and Fleur who had her beads in hinge tins. I bought beautiful tins before, but I didn't know enough that it's better to have a hinge because they stay on, and then my nest, they don't get lost. So this is a combination of Nicole from Narangi's braids, because these are vintage sari trims, and she has got ones, they're not from Jaipur, they're from other places outside of Jaipur. So this is why I wanted them. I can just see eclectically so many places. And of course, I'm off to New Zealand, so as little pieces. And also, hello, USA. It's not too long till I come to you. Thank you to all those people who bought places with Kiki and I in Wisconsin and Texas at Paper Crown. And I've got some plans underway for another special announcement. Oh, by the way, it's newsletter next week. So if you aren't already subscribed, just go to my website and there's a little filler in there. But look at that. Oh, absolutely adore it. And look at those little tiny flowers. So I like a trim like this, A, because it's beautiful, but B, I can see little postage stamps as well as single flowers, as well as a long strip. So that is absolutely a treasure. I showed you last week that, you know, I bought back from Mum some vintage trim, and in one of the stores there, they had this, and I like it because it's a different shape. It's got these little bits on it, and it's yellow. Oh gosh, I got some treasures. Here's another one of those, and another one. I deliberately got different sizes. I think they might be, yeah, they're different shapes, different sizes and shapes, and because they're natural, I just feel I'm actually really excited about putting those, my wool on them and having them laying around the house. I bought these buttons from Nicole, and I don't think they're vintage, and they don't have to be. They're just absolutely beautiful. And in terms of going on my work as buttons or closures, I don't know, but they're all different. Thank you to the button company that has put those beautiful flowers into the form of wooden buttons. Which brings me, oh, this is a joy. This is a joy. Look, you know how much I want a bead, and I'm going to get to beads in a minute. Nicole had a bigger tray, and then just as everything was being totaled up at Dirty Jane's, I looked over, and here were these. They're Indian brass. Oh, what am I talking about? They're not Indian. What? Florence, Italy. I don't mind, but look, it had a bird, and look at that green. He's hot pink and green. He's orange and green. And look at this one. The peacock is really pronounced in orange. So I just adored these. I'm addicted. Actually, I'll have to get more because I can just see them on a tray. But for the moment, my buttons are just going to sit there. Here's another beautiful braid from Nicole. And again, I can share these in my bundles and in my packs, but not all of it, just little bits. Look at that. And it's wire embroidery. Like we tried to, well, I tried, others succeeded, tried to embroider with this metal thread when we were in New Zealand. So there's meterage on that, and again, that's 1 meter. So I'm just excited about the beauty of these fabrics, and that more and more of us are going to get our hands on it. And I'm the first to say that oh yes, that's right. What did I do here? This is a bundle that, yes, I do have a lot of block prints, but B, I sold an awful lot at the bazaar. So, and I want to keep having different patterns because we don't need a lot. So these pieces are much bigger. So it's like, to top up my supplies, I went to my own local store in Bowral, and I'm sure Nicole will be selling these online, so I will share her details of the website. I loved it for this one. I thought the whole pack, and these are the really fine block print, which is lovely to embellish and work with. So there's that. Different colorways because I didn't buy blue, and people want blue. So, but there's a green one in there. So curated by somebody else, and I think that's important for me to also recognize how beautiful these colors are. And then I bought a big piece of this one because it is the softest print in a different pattern, and look at those little stars to embroider. Is that all I have to show you? Because it's quite a lot, isn't it? I thought I bought more bits. Oh yeah, different store. This was just mixed, a random piece of satin. Look at the pictures on that. And again, emblems. Emblems, is that the word? Little tiny bits. So you can see I've almost got my own bazaar going, which leads me to, where's my stitching basket? I've just made the decision. You don't need to see Tired Kate fumbling to thread a needle. So it's going to be a sharing video, but I wanted to say that this pouch that I made for the Fleur 5-day is continuing to grow, and I had pieces of Fleur that are going to go on there. Like, okay, here we go. Now I can be. This is Nicole's shop, Narangi, and that's the website if you want to look at her online if you're not local. In here is a postcard from Fleur, which I'm going to use as inspiration for a work. Look at that. Just, oh, it's a bit shiny. Beautiful. But this pouch became such a keeper. So while I was away from you, I did a big thing. I shared it with the ladies. I did it publicly, and I chopped up one of the flowers in vases because I just couldn't get it to work. So they are in there because they will go on another work, and I suppose rather than just shopping, I've been working on about 5-6 different pieces all week. So this is to be continued, but this is one of the flowers in vases that I'm enjoying working on. Different block print, big flowers, a bit of fluoro. So as I said, to be continued. But one of these, I could have, oh gosh, don't get me started, Kate. We'll have to start another one. You know how I love to layer? That can, could go on there, but they're not. They're on some big ones. But that brings me to, I was just about to leave today, saying goodbye to Zoe. This was a piece of cantha. That was you'll see more of this. I gave everyone a piece of this cantha in their kit at the workshop, and just look, that's just a little section of the cantha for those who love blue. There it is on the blue side, and here look at the yellow, and look at the stitching that was done by others' hands. So just adore that. But get to the main point. Just as I was leaving and saying goodbye to Zoe after however many days straight, actually I've got my cello pouch in there because I've been playing with colours. Here's my Jaipur Joy. Maybe I'll put, I haven't seen her for a while. She's ready to have maybe some of these things put in and stacked high. Get to the point, Kate. There's my pocket with the owl. Hello, Christine. Have I shown you that, everybody? This is the owl that Create and Craft by Christine made for everybody in the 5-dayer. And I put mine on there with a needle threader. It's a key ring, but hey, we don't have to leave a key ring for that. What is that? 30-foot? I don't know what that is on there for. Scissors, more scissors and needles in there. Okay, the point is, as I was saying goodbye to Zoe, I said, oh my gosh, what's that? This turns out to be the spare. This was spare or used as an undercloth for dyeing during the fleurs. I wasn't at the dyeing workshop. Anyway, I looked at that and I thought, that is an artwork in itself. And I can sort of see a vase in it. So as I'm saying this to you now, watch out, because I'm going to harvest that and start a new work with, look at that colour. Not done by me. I think Zoe wanted it some too as well, but she generously handed it over. But I will, I won't use it all. But are you like me? Can you see something abstract in there? And I suppose, why am I showing you this? Because hey, when just even your scraps become beautiful. I'd had an idea that I was going to use that to line my flirt pouch, which I still could do with the other bits, because Fleur is very much into painting, and so there is enough. But this piece will be something else. Okay, I don't think I've drawn breath, so I hope I've missed you guys. So I hope it's okay that I'm back, because I probably won't film tomorrow night because I'm away down the coast working. But after that, you should see quite a number of videos coming through. So there we are. That's one of the latest flowers in vases that you may not have seen. Oh, there was something else from Nicole that I wanted to finish with. And I said I'd show you. She said, I've got these amazing sequins. And I said, oh, I don't like sequins. She said, how can you not like sequins? And her definition of sequins and mine was different. They're these tiny little bits that she has collected. And the bestest ones are somewhere here in the plastic bag. Oh, there they are. Look, this is real. This is real. This is Kate in the nest, and I'm not saying goodbye, but I just want to show you. And this is why I didn't want to have them in a plastic bag. So they're going to go in one of these little bags, little bowls. So there we are. Hello, Colette from CC Davis Studios. I think you'll be going very excitedly going, oh my gosh, look how tiny those ones underneath are. I've got oblong ones, but what I fell in love with is this. Oh, I think it's tin. And I did put them, that's me hitting my head on the light. I did put them on this work. Oh, there's the button jar. Can you see that? If you can't, you will, but they are 3-dimensional. And I said, don't call them sequins. And she said, well, what will I call them? And I said, they're embellishments. But it's easier than beading, not so obvious as beading, but glorious. Okay, that's it. I need to go and spend some time with my beautiful husband. I'm going to say bye for now. You will actually see me stitch again soon. But that's just a little bit of where Kate's been, what Kate's been doing, and obviously what Kate couldn't resist buying. So until next time, there's a little vignette. Thank you so much for being with me. Please take care, stay well, give yourself time, be kind to yourself, and for once say, I need to do some stitching as well as the housework. Okay, see you next time. Bye for now.